So just about every day of the year, there's a new event to celebrate. And actually, every single month, there's a month dedicated to some event. Well, we're in October now, and one of the major things that comes to public awareness is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I would love it if I heard people rephrase that and turn that paradigm on its head and say something more akin to Breast Health Awareness Month. Rather than focusing on something ominous that really weighs heavy on any conversation, focus on the things that you can do to empower yourself and make your body cancer resistant. And so that's really, I'd love to see the change in that name. So Breast Health Awareness Month, let's call it that. And to focus on that, there's a few things that I would like people to understand. First of all, there's another thing that kind of gets demonized that we all have, and it's really important for those of the female persuasion, and that's estrogen. And estrogen gets demonized when you're talking about breast cancer. And sadly, it should be reversed also. It should be something that people understand that, well, you know what, I need estrogen. Women need estrogen, men need estrogen. Just like we all need progesterone and testosterone. These are our hormones. These are the things that really make us function on so many different levels. So let's talk about that just for a second. And I want people to understand that we have sex hormone receptors all over our body, all over the place. And they're going to be bound by hook or crook. And when we try to avoid that process, well, something else in nature takes the opportunity to bind those receptors. This is when we start to have problems. This is when we start to have dis-ease, because we're no longer allowing the body to promote health because we invited a foreigner into those receptor sites that were looking for something natural and they didn't get it. So Xenoestrogens is something that I think should be talked about because those are things that we should be avoiding. Well, what's a xenoestrogen? Anytime you hear that word xeno, think outside the body. It's something that your body did not make, but there's a whole bunch of things in our environment that fill that role. The phthalates, the PCBs, the herbicides and pesticides, the plasticizers. We're exposed to this stuff all day long, every single day of our life. You cook something in plastic, or you buy something that's been packaged in plastic, or you heat it in that. You drink out of plastic water bottles. You go to the gas station and put gas in your car. You rub oils and solutions on your body. Things that you use for shampoos in your hair. Mascara and facial creams. All of these things can have xenoestrogens in them. And it's really important for you to get familiar with what those really are and look on the things that you're purchasing to make sure that you're not supporting industries that use those things in them. Because there are a lot of great shampoos and creams and lotions and sunscreens that people can use in a healthy way to not burden their body with all these xenoestrogens that actually do promote inflammation in the body because they're opportunistic and they selectively go for our sex receptors. Helping our bodies to be clean is one of the best and fastest ways that you can embrace and support and celebrate Breast Health Month. It extends beyond the breast too. It helps every other tissue in the body. It helps us to stay toxin-free if we're just aware of what all these xenoestrogens are. Because these things have a big impact on not just our breast health, but our overall health and our mental health. But going back to the breast health concept, some of the things that I've sadly seen is like precocious puberty, where young children actually, long before they should be experiencing signs of puberty, start to develop because they've been using these shampoos that are rich in parabens. Things that they might be sticking in their mouth as rinses and toothpaste and dental preservatives and all of these different things that they shouldn't be used in the volume that they're being used in, period. And if you could remove them completely, it'd be better. Some of them are put into certain things as preservatives. Well, there's better ways to preserve stuff. And that's what we really, as a society, need to work for. So my main intent is to help people understand that we all have sex receptors. We all need our sex hormones. And if we're not inviting into the body those things of proper nutrition that would allow for those sex receptors to be satiated and softly covered by weaker estrogens that naturally come from foods that our body can make itself, then they're going to get bound by these stronger xenoestrogens that come from chemicals that strongly bind these receptors and they don't like to leave. And that's when we start to create inflammatory processes. That's when we start to see nodules. And that's when like dense breast tissue, which is already hard to image, period, starts to become a little bit more lumpy bumpy. And women start to wonder what's going on in there. Well, many times they're harboring a lot of metabolic waste. Many times they're also using hard underwires on their bras that actually restrict normal lymphatic flow. Many times they're simply unaware of some of the things that they could be doing in the shower to allow for self-massage. Maybe they're unaware that they could have lymphatic drainage processes done by trained massage therapists to do that. Maybe they're unaware that there's nutritional protocols to enhance the lymphatic flow throughout the body. All of these things should be part of the book of life for young people as we grow up, so that they know that, okay, here's the stuff in the world that I'm going to be exposed to. Here's how I'm going to deal with that. And this is where I love to branch into knowing somebody's genetics, getting regular labs on oneself so that you can kind of see your trends. And then not obsessing on it, but using that as a roadmap for proper health moving forward. So the long message there that I'm going to try and make short is embrace health. Don't live in fear. Be proactive. Understand your body, your uniqueness, and those things that would allow you to properly detoxify yourself. Because just like we're all exposed to bacteria and viruses, we're all exposed to environmental burden. And we need to be prepared on both sides to allow our body to live optimally. Have a great day.